All right, guys, joining me at this time for a UFC 259 breakthrough. We are going to be discussing this whole thing with Landon, the Lone Wolf Quinones. How you doing today, Landon?
Very good, sir. Healing up one day at a time. Keeping
Landon
myself
is
busy. We hanging out.
just going through an ACL recovery. He tore his ACL, if you don't know the story, obviously, before his Titan FC fight. As we know, we talked to Landon right before he was supposed to go on the Contender Series. He got COVID because of that. It's been a wild year for you, huh, man?
Yeah, bro. It's been kind of discouraging, but that's life, man. Bad times don't last, or tough times don't last. Tough people do. I've been pretty much knocked down to rock bottom in this fight game. But one thing I've learned is being away from it, even though it's only been a month and a half, is like, the pandemic took me away from it a little bit because everything was locked down. But now it's like it's really taken away from me because even if I could, if I like that it's available to me, I can't do anything.
Yeah.
So I've had a lot of time to study, a lot of time to learn, a lot of time to watch fights, a lot of time to coach, a lot, time to do these fight analysis things that we can do. So I'm gonna come back a lot better. It's just a time thing. But one thing I understand now is how much I truly love this. So it's all good.
One good thing too is
Maybe I needed this to mature myself.
for sure, this game is also a big mental game. So you have plenty of time to also build yourself. And obviously you can tell like the evolution in you too, because this is a lot of mental growth, this whole situation right now and everything that you've gone through. It's really going to make you a better fighter at the end of the day, I feel like.
Yeah, so I'm saying I think I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna get back in training and start fucking dudes up, and they're gonna be like, "Yo, this guy's been injured all this time. How is he so much better?" That's what I'm looking for. That's gonna happen, but I can't rush the process. This is a 9-month recovery process before I can fully do anything, like fully do everything like sparring, live grappling, all that stuff. I'm obviously gonna be able to do like stuff to keep my fitness up after like 4 months, but right now it's just one step at a time. But when I come back, I want to make sure I don't rush it and take a fight right away. I want to make sure I can get my fitness back up, make sure I can get my body more durable again. I'm out here doing nothing, not taking any contact. Like, to get your body durable and strong again, you got to get hit. You got to be in the heat of things, and you just got to get readjusted to the grind, man. So I'm not gonna rush it. I want to make sure I come back with no re-tears. I want to come back and make sure that my knee does not other knee does not compensate, and just make sure that I don't get injured anywhere else and go through a bad cycle and end up messing up my career, because I'm here for a long time. So I'm only
Well, I also
25.
think too, for the rehab, you're at one of the best gyms, when it comes to Stanford MMA and what they're able to put together for their athletes, when it comes to not only just performance wise inside the cage, but outside of the cage, keeping you guys recovery and all stuff like that. I feel like it's the best place for you right now.
Of course. Well, what I've been doing my therapy is chain work physio. I opted not to do my therapy with Barwis at Stanford,
Mm-hmm.
because the guy that I'm going to actually trains with us at Stanford, and he's a physical therapist,
Oh,
Dr.
smart.
Hiro Pereira. He basically he used to fight himself as well. I don't know if he fought amateur. I think he fought pro as well in Thailand.
Mm-hmm.
He's not really in it to be a world champion, but he just loves it, and he trains with
Yeah.
us and lets him train with us, and he got a lot of love for us. So he gives us a good deal, and he knows the way I move because he's actually trained with me. Like, he's moved and sparred with me, and he's a fucking damn good kickboxer. So he understands exactly my needs are for my movement. You go to a regular therapist, like, yeah, they're gonna help you and stuff in the beginning, and they're gonna help you get your motion back, but the recovery is a lot different for an athlete in my specific sport and my specific style than would it be for another guy who does something else, or your average Joe. I gotta have the right range of motions to be able to kick, the right range of motions to be able to turn my hips when I punch, the right ability to move and strengthen areas to be able to bounce properly. He understands me, so I think he was the best option I could have possibly had.
No, it's perfect, man. Let's break down these fights a little bit. It's a great card coming up, man. Triple championships on the line this weekend. 4 champions altogether, 3 title fights. The main event, Jan Blachowics, Israel Adesanya. I'll get your predictions and breakdown in a little bit. Super excited. How do you feel about that fight, though, man? I'm just glad they finally were able to put it together.
Man, I love it. I think it's a very tough test for Izzy, but it's also a tough test for Blachowics. This is a matchup against two complete weird opposite ends of the spectrum. I feel like Izzy has a huge
Yes.
advantage on the feet as far as like skill for skill wise with Blachowics, but you got to understand, like, even though like Izzy's big, like, 'cause I've seen Izzy in person, Izzy ain't small, but Blachowics a big dude, and when you're up a weight class, especially in those heavier weight classes, 85 to 205 is a big jump.
That's a
You
big
gotta
jump.
Izzy's probably walking around 210, 215 at the most.
They were saying that he's gonna weigh in around like 192 almost.
Yeah, well, I mean, when he's in shape, he's like that. You got to understand the highest level of the fighters don't cut that much weight.
Yeah.
So it's not like he doesn't cut weight, but he's not cutting gigantic weight, and he's over here moving up a weight class against a guy that's probably cutting from 220, 230. I don't know what it is about these heavyweights or big dudes, but they cut weight, a lot more weight, a lot easier than the smaller guys. It's pretty interesting.
For sure. Then we got Amanda Nunes, obviously the female GOAT, taking on Megan Anderson in this fight. A lot of people are kind of criticizing this matchup, saying that Megan isn't ready for the opportunity. How do you feel? Obviously, they had to put some featherweight matchup, right? Amanda Nunes had to eventually defend that title.
Yeah. Well, Megan Anderson's a good striker. One thing I don't see is the experience, the championship experience, the main event experience. And to be real with you, like that plays a huge factor in your mental game, man. This is the female GOAT. She's been through it all. And I've watched her train. Like I've seen her train. My coach used to coach her. My coach was her head coach up until the Rousey fight. So I know all about her techniques. I know all about her moves. I know all about the way she fights. She's tough as hell. She's got ridiculous power. She's got, ridiculously tough, and I don't think Megan's up to the challenge in that aspect. She's got the skill and the athletic ability, but ultimately the experience and the skill, the gap is gonna play a huge factor, man.
That's an interesting one. The odds for Megan to win, I looked at it earlier. It's ridiculous. You could put like $10 down to win $2,500.
I was just gonna say that. I'm betting $10 on Megan.
For sure. I'm gonna bet. Hey, listen, I've thrown away $10 on worse. Okay.
Yeah. But to be honest, another thing I've noticed too is like even they have really no one for Amanda to fight. She's cleaned out both divisions. I mean, they're 45.
Especially 45. Yeah, there's no one.
Yeah, that wasn't even a real division. That was a division for Cyborg, and she cleaned Cyborg. So you got that division unlocked. Megan doesn't really have a lot of people to fight, obviously. And I think
there's only four real 45ers.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know if you saw her first fight in the UFC or first couple fights in the UFC. Her ground game was not good. I don't think. Not. Yeah,
Lee Spencer took her down a year ago, I believe, with ease.
Yeah, like I don't think her ground game's developed enough to handle Amanda in that aspect,
No, for sure. Petr Yan, Aljamain Sterling, man, great bantamweight title fight. I'm glad to see Aljo finally getting what he deserves.
Yeah, sleeper fight for sure. Did you beat Aljo at Extreme Couture?
I have not seen Aljo. Aljo was actually not there when I was down there.
Yeah,
he's over there. Yeah, he's over there at New Jersey right now.
Yeah, Petr Yan's actually here in Florida training at American Top Team.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I heard about him from some people that his ground game is not too good. I've heard from some people like that. I know he's a sick striker. Like I was watching him the other day fight Aldo, and I was like, I like to break down and like mute the volume and like watch like the way dudes move, like the way they feint, like watch their fundamentals. And man, that dude is fucking good, bro. That dude is good at striking.
My thing is obviously like you said, his grappling isn't where it should be. That was my biggest concern coming into the fight was, if it comes to the ground, I really think Aljo has a huge advantage. Yeah. You see what he was able to do against Sandhagen, and Sandhagen's really good on the ground as well.
Yeah. And the thing about Aljo is like he's a wrestler, but like he's got slick jiu-jitsu, bro. Like he's got that Sarah BJJ down pat, man. And Matt Serra is a very underrated coach, Like he doesn't have the pedigree like of a John Donner and stuff. In the jiu-jitsu world, you know what I mean? Like he's an MMA guy, but realistically, if you watch him fight and you watch his guys, like all his guys have fire ground game. You can obviously tell that he's a great coach. I think out of how many fights is Aljo's wins? Out of how many wins are they submissions?
Oh, he's got a ton. I can look up that fact for you right now. He's 19-3. Let's see, career stats, submission average. He's got one submission average per fight. In the UFC, he's won 1, 2, 3, 4 in the UFC.
And how many out?
I don't have the stats for out right here in front of me. Give me a second. It's got to be a lot.
Yeah, because my thing is I think Yan has I don't want to say a huge advantage because like Aljo's awkward and goofy and kind of like makes things work. So I don't want to say he's going to just completely outgun Aljamain Sterling.
By submission.
You think he beats Yan by submission?
Well, he's got 8 submission finishes.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if he beats him by. Listen, I think that's an interesting match. We'll get into that one a little bit later. Like I said, we'll get into all those. I'm intrigued by that matchup. That one's for sure. Out of all of them, that's the one I'm least like. Oh, for sure, this is what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But let's jump out at the very start of the card, man. Mario Batista taking on Trevin Jones in the bantamweight division. Mario Batista is 8-1. Trevin Jones 12-6. Interesting fact, if you look at these ones, they're pretty much identical when it comes to everything, except for Jones is like 3 inches shorter. Usually when guys are 3 inches shorter, they don't have the bigger reach, but interesting.
I'm trying to look at this guy's stats right now. Hold on.
So Batista averages 6.19 strikes landed per minute to Jones's 3.72, but Jones takes a lot of punishment.
He's a tall bantamweight. Who? Batista takes a lot of punishment.
No. Trevin Jones takes a ton of punishment. Looking at the stats of this one head to head, I really feel like Batista on paper has this one.
It looks like that. He comes out of a good camp too. He comes out of MMA lab.
I like the MMA lab, man. Phoenix has some killers out there.
He's good, man. He's famous. I forgot his name though right now. It's kind of slipping my mind.
There's a ton of good guys out there.
Let me see. So we got, okay, this guy is, what's his height? 5'7", 2 inches of height. Okay. I like it. I think
the longer reach. Interesting.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Batista. Yeah, man. I think I'm gonna go Batista on this one, man.
Yeah, for sure. I like that matchup. I feel like it really favors Batista when you break it down.
Yeah, if you look at the records and whatnot and the finishes, man, I think it looks like they're kind of trying to build this guy up. So I think let's see.
We got Euros Medic taking on Alien Cruz in the lightweight division. Euros is a 6-0. He won in the Contender Series, coming in with a huge finish. He lands 14 strikes per minute. That is high and very, very, very good. Obviously, that's off of one fight, so you can't really take that stat, too boldly. But you can tell he's a very high pace, very pressure kind of guy.
Yeah, and he's undefeated too, so that's a big factor. Well, you can tell he's a new wave because he's 6-0, so he's one of those guys you can tell they're kind of trying to see build. I think this is a must-win for Alon Cruz. I know he's our hometown boy, so I'm rooting for him. I don't really know too much about this Medic guy. I'd have to watch his Contender fight. But from what it looks like, man, this is a do or die for Alon. But I think I'm gonna go with Alon.
Yeah, I really like Alon Cruz. I feel like he got a really horrible matchup. He got Spike Crawl, and Spike's a darn good grappler. Alon was not able to keep up with it. I feel like this matchup with Euros, though, it should break him down a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on which Alon Cruz shows up. I've seen him perform well in fights when he's on. So I guess that's let's see, several submissions here, or a few submissions here that I've seen. So, is this guy Medic a grappler or a striker?
He's a striker for sure. Definitely keeps pressure. I don't see a whole lot of grappling, especially when it comes to grappling stats. I don't see a whole lot of those. I see mostly just pressure striking.
Okay, that's good. It seems like Alon wins most of his fights by submission when he finishes. So yeah, I'm gonna think he'd want to get him down. He's also pretty tall for the weight class from what I remember. Yeah,
he is a pretty big guy.
6'45", right? That's pretty tall. So.
Hell yeah, man. I don't think I could ever make 145, and I'm right around 6 foot.
No, I'm not no more, man. Honestly, I'm pretty light right now. Well, let's see what happens.
Maybe the Lone Wolf 145 makes a comeback.
Fuck that. I don't know. Hopefully not. But we'll see what happens.
We got the first female matchup, women's strawweight bout. The Brazilian gangster Livier Souza takes on Amanda Lemos. Amanda Lemos, the southpaw, has a 65-inch reach to Silva's 63-inch reach. Usually Souza is the shorter fighter by a lot. She's like 5'3", super short girl, especially in the 115-pound division. But Lemos is also a shorter girl as well. I'm going to be interested when this one goes to the ground. Souza has a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, but has had problems with dominant wrestlers. Will we see if that'll be a problem with this fight?
Huh. Are they both black belts, or they're both Brazilian, huh?
Lemos, I don't know if she's a black belt or a brown belt. I know for sure she's high level though.
Man, Souza, the Brazilian gangster.
Yeah, she's badass, man. She's a former Invicta 115 champion. She held that title forever in Invicta, and then Angela Hill came off of the Ultimate Fighter and beat her. That's how long ago that was. Interesting. Souza, I would have to agree with you on that one. I feel like she keeps very good pressure, and if she's able to use her like bulldog mentality, she's like I wouldn't say she is a ground game practitioner. She's more of like a brawler. But I feel like with that style against Lemos, she could really confuse her if she puts a lot of pressure on her.
Yeah, I think I got Souza on that though, man. Lemos will want to keep it on the feet, but this girl has decent finishes on the feet as well. I think the experience plays a factor, man. 8 fights compared to or like 9 fights compared to 16 fights to me is a big difference, bro.
Huge factor.
It's gonna play a factor for sure.
In the welterweight division, we have Sean Brady taking on Jake Matthews. Sean Brady 13-0, man. Jake Matthews, he's been in the UFC forever, 17-4. I feel like he's kind of grown up in front of our eyes. I feel like we've seen all 4 of those losses and a lot of these wins. He's on a 3-fight win streak right now. Obviously, Sean Brady's won all 3 of his fights in the UFC. This one, I believe you were about to say it right now, seems like a sleeper pick for fight of the night.
For sure, man. I've seen that dude Sean Brady fight. That dude is a killer. That dude comes out coming to bang. He's a tough dude, and I've seen Jake Matthews fight over the years. He even submitted Wagner when he was in the UFC, who's actually one of my coaches now at Sanford. So I know all about this fight. I know about these guys. So this is a good one, man. The thing is, Sean Brady's a tough striker with good power. I like this fight a lot, but Jake Matthews is also a big dude. You know, he was a 55er that's really grown into 70 these days. So it should be a good one.
Yeah, like when he first came into the UFC, he was obviously still young enough to cut the weight, make that 55-pound division. But you just seen over time, like he just put on so much mass, there was no way he was going back.
Yeah, absolutely not, man. And they both got good gas tanks. They're both tough as nails. I think they're gonna meet in the middle and bang, man. I know Jake Matthews has pretty decent striking as well. From what I've seen though, he likes to go to the ground a lot. So let me see.
I'm going to have to go with Sean Brady keeping his undefeated streak alive on this one.
I like it, man. I think he's the new school. I think if he can keep it on the feet, he wins it. I think he just needs to defend the takedown. If he gets down, try to work to scramble up. Try not to waste his energy too much, but I like that prediction as well. I'm gonna take Sean Brady and say he keeps it. So I think he's probably a betting underdog too, huh?
I believe so. Well, I don't know. Sean Brady probably not. I think it's probably Jake Matthews because if you look at Brady's record and the people that he's faced, he hasn't faced any slouches. He's faced killers his entire career.
Yeah, man, and he's got a lot of fights to himself. What's his record now?
I think he's like 13-0.
Man, 13-0. He's got a lot of fights, and I'm gonna look at the guys he fought. God damn, he's fought a good quality of opponents.
Yeah.
He had no crazy build-up fights. He fought guys with like lackluster records, but he didn't fight anyone that was bad. He fought debut a 1-0, 3-2, 2-0. 9-6, 3-1, 4-2, 5-3, 7-4, 5-0, 8-1, 19-8, 19-3, 14-6. I mean, he's fighting tough dudes, man, and he is coming out on top, and he's finding ways to win. He's finishing fights. He's on a great.
And those are mostly in Florida, correct?
I don't know. Are they in Florida? No, they're LFA fights. There's one CFFC.
Okay, so it's still a good promotion.
Yeah, he's more of a Northeast guy.
I just want to point out that like fucking Florida, Nevada, California, even somewhat Texas a little bit.
New York,
you're like 5-6 in those areas, bro, you're a pretty good 5-6. You're probably knocking out the undefeated dude from Montana.
That's facts, exactly. You're probably knocking out a dude that's 13-0 from Montana or whatever.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
For sure. We got in the light heavyweight division, a great matchup. This one's gonna go one of two ways: either be super fucking boring, or it's gonna be a quick little slugfest. Kennedy Njoku taking on Carlos Ubrig. Ubrig was a huge knockout winner in the Contender Series, winning his contract against Bruno Oliveira. Dana usually says he doesn't take a flyer on guys this raw, obviously being 5-0 in the light heavyweight division. But I'm interested to see what he's able to bring, man. He's still very young, and that dude, he can bang.
Dang, he's only 3-0 too, man. Damn.
Yeah, he's a fucking killer, bro.
But yeah, that's the thing, man. Like, he's 3-0. Experience is a thing, but I'm pretty sure the UFC likes him a lot, and he's Izzy's teammate. So I see the matchup they gave him, and I think it's a favorable style matchup for him. And he is a big dude, very strong, a lot of knockout power, and very accurate, very good movement, very good fundamentals. I watched him fight. He looks like he moves like a vet. I'm going to go with Oberg by first round KO on this one.
And he obviously spars with Izzy. He's obviously was probably one of Izzy's main sparring partners for this fight. Obviously why he got put on this card. Having that high level sparring partners and having, constant, especially creativity thrown at you, it makes you evolve so much faster.
Of course, for sure. My coach is a fifth. I think he's a 4th or 5th degree in Kempo. So like his thing, he teaches us a lot of that ninja shit. Like I have my own style and I like to walk dudes down and bang on them, but he's really good at like that ninja shit. I've seen a lot of guys like Ronnie throwing spinning stuff and like all these crazy stuff. He used to coach Mark DeCasey as well, so I've seen like on the pads the crazy shit they do. It's pretty
Mark DeCasey's fucking he's wild, man. I love his striking.
He's cool, man. Mark's good. But yeah, bro, I definitely got Oberg winning that. I think he's one of Izzy's toughest training partners, and that's for damn good reason. I think he's gonna make noise in that division, period.
Yeah, I think especially. I don't think he's gonna be one of those guys that he's gonna be like, damn, I wish I would have seen him younger. I think he's gonna be one of those guys where it's like Francis Ngannou, where he's like, oh shit, I'm here, like I've arrived now.
I hope so, man. There's a lot of hype behind him. Hopefully we don't that hype doesn't get squished because he's fucking dope. I've seen him in person too. He was out there. He fought the Tuesday before I was out there, so I got to see him and Izzy out there. And man, he's an animal, bro. He's a big dude, super athletic too. That's the thing. Like that dude is shredded to the bone. He's a big dude.
Guys should not be able to move like that, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's pretty damn scary, to be honest with you.
For sure. Flyweight matchup between Tim Elliott, Jordan Espinoza. Tim Elliott, man, he's been here forever. Won the Ultimate Fighter. He gave Mighty Mouse a run for his money. 17-11-1. Obviously, Jordan Espinoza, high-level wrestling. He won the state title in high school. I believe he went on and did high-level college wrestling as well. Trades wins and losses here in the UFC. So far, he's 3 losses, 2 wins. This could be a make or break situation for him.
For Espinoza?
Yeah.
It could be, but I mean, the thing is, he's got a tough test if he's going for his threatening fight to get cut if he's fighting Tim Elliott. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah, he doesn't have a very strong UFC record. He is he's 2-3, huh? Mm-hmm. So this is definitely make or break for him. A guy like Tim Elliott, it's a super, super tough fight. Very awkward guy, but I don't know, man. I think, and honestly, wrestling for flyweights is a lot different for wrestling for like higher weight classes, man. You got a guy like Tim Elliott who's super squirrely. I don't know if you'll be able to.
They're hard to keep down.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna go with Elliott. I think this is his last hoorah. I don't want to be a guy that's a dick to Espinoza because we all fighting for the same thing here. So I don't want to be like, I'm crushing your dreams. I just don't think right now is his time, and I think Elliott has the edge and experience, fought way stiffer competition, and I think he's going to come out with it. He could go to a decision or he could get a late finish, but I think it'll probably go a little further than 2 rounds.
Yeah, definitely. I like Tim Elliott, and this one is too. Jordan Espinoza, obviously, like we talked about, great wrestling, but you pointed it out already, man. Those squirrely 125ers, man, you have to be super creative with what you do with those guys because they're just so fast.
And holding him down is difficult, man. Like how many fights in flyweight do you see dudes get taken down and get held down like Khabib style?
Only when people are fighting Askar Askarov, and we'll talk about that a little later.
Yeah, he's very good, man. But we'll talk about it. Yeah, we'll talk about it.
In the flyweight division, we have Rogerio Bonserino taking on Kai Kira France. Obviously, another guy, City Kickboxing. They're trying to go 3-0 yet again, like they always do when Izzy fights on cards. Kaikira France, man, he's an interesting one. He lost to Royval, obviously. He beat Tyson Nam dramatically. He's beaten, two guys coming right into the UFC. Lost to Brandon Moreno. It's interesting on what you evaluate him as, because the guys he's losing to are world class in the division, on top of their game right now. So obviously, he has a hard time getting through the top 5. But I feel like he's right on the outside of that. He's right on that.
Look at this, man. If his fights, like the losses are like to guys like Brandon Moreno, Brandon Royval, who's a big time finisher. Moreno obviously just went to war with Davison for the title. So he's fought tough guys, man. Mark De La Rosa, Tyson Nam, Elias Garcia, another guy who was a contender stud, looking for a fight stud. He's a beast, man. He's got great coaching and stuff. I think they're looking to put this fight to build him. Is this his opponent's debut?
No. Rogerio has had 4 UFC fights. He's won 3, lost 1. He lost to Ray Borg.
Okay, so he's also fought pretty decent competition. I think this is his step up in competition, and Kai Kara France way to get a little momentum. So I think it's going to be a really good fight. I think it might be a sleeper fight. But obviously, I think I'm going to go with the favorite, Kai Kara France. I think
I have to agree that this one is definitely set up for him to win. I feel like that, and I'm not knocking Rogerio, but I feel like it's also a good victory for Kai as well, because Rogerio is no slouch.
Exactly, he's no slouch, and you can tell he's hungry, man. He beats a guy like Kai Kara France. He might not necessarily be ranked, but he's definitely a guy that can be considered a future contender with his pedigree, the people he trains with, and obviously the guys he's fought shows that he's a skilled fighter. So I think he could definitely be ranked soon.
Another intriguing flyweight bout. We have Joseph Benavidez taking on Askar Askarov, who we talked about earlier. Now, I love pointing it out because I just think it's such an awesome thing that he's almost, I believe they say he's like 95% deaf. So he literally goes in there. He can't hear his corner at all the entire fight. He can only, when he sees him in the corner, they can do sign, obviously. But he's literally got to be one of the most mentally tough fighters out there, just to, because man, you're a fighter. You know how much how helpful it is to have that person in your ear when you're thinking, oh, like, what the fuck do I do next?
Yeah,
this is what you do.
You need a second eye. Even when I see guys that have just teammates in their corner, like that's the reason you have a corner is not necessarily because you don't know how to fight, especially at this level. Like everyone can fight. It's just more about having that second set of eyes to see techniques that you don't, to see things that are open that you don't, see adjustments that can be made that you don't. Because in the moment, all that adrenaline, all that energy, all that pressure, all the crazy chaos in the moment, like a lot of times you might not think of things in the first try, So it's good to have a solid corner, but that's pretty tough, man. 95% deaf with no corner. I couldn't imagine being on that big of a stage with no corner, especially against a guy like Joseph Benavidez.
He's 12-0-1. His draw is to Brandon Moreno. He has literally ran through. He beat Tim Elliott without a problem. Alexander Pantoja, same thing. This guy is legitimate. He great takedowns. He throws so many that his takedown accuracy is really shitty. So we won't talk about that. But he lands at least 2 per every 15 minutes, and his striking is up there with the rest of the flyweights. Very quick striking. The biggest problem I think he's gonna have is when he gets to Figueiredo is dealing with Figueiredo's power. But we've also never seen him rocked, so we don't know what that's like.
Honestly, I've watched Askar Askarov, and I think obviously his wrestling's a factor. I think Benavidez is a strong enough wrestler to be able to fight off his takedowns and get off. I don't think he's the level he is, but you gotta understand this isn't a wrestling match, it's an MMA fight. Yes. So with the strikes mixed in, the scrambling ability of Benavidez, the submission ability of Benavidez, because he does have great submissions. One thing is also that these 25ers nowadays are big, bro. Yes. And I think Benavidez is definitely undersized at this point. Like I don't think he's a big flyweight anymore. He's a small guy, so I think that will play a factor in the grappling exchanges. But if I had to pick, I think I'd lean toward Benavidez. I think he has the experience, and he's a vet, and he's been through fights like this. He's fought guys like this. I mean, he even has a win over Henry Cejudo. So I think he definitely has a good shot at winning this. The only thing I don't like is that he's a little on the older side, and he's kind of more on the second end of his career. So if it was a younger Benavidez, I'd for sure put it to him. But I think it's going to be a tough contested fight. I got Benavidez by decision.
I picked Askar Askarov to hold the title at the end of 2021. So in order for
Yeah,
my prediction to go right, he's got to win this fight. So we're going
yeah.
with Askar Askarov.
No, but but of course, man, you gotta have a second opinion. That's just what I think right now. I could be completely wrong. I've had like last week, like the card Gilbert fought Usman, my picks were fucking flipped over. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I was completely wrong on a lot of those picks. So as I said, bro, this ain't salsa dancing, bro. Fights can go any way. Styles make fights, and I think it's a style for a good fight. I'm not leaning this like Benavidez is gonna win by this much. I got that shit here. Like it can go like this.
Yeah, that's what I love about this sport
Surprise
too,
me.
man. So many things can happen. Literally any given Saturday, any given punch, anything can land.
Facts, man. It's a good fight, man. It's a good fight.
Song Yadong taking on Kyler Murray in the bantamweight division. Song Yadong is my favorite name in all of MMA.
It's really cool. Yeah, what you crack.
Dude, yes, Team Alpha Male down there with Uriah Faber. He's looked very good since being in the UFC. He's only has that one draw, and that's against Cody Stamann. No slouch as well. He's looked very well on outside of that.
Yeah, against Stamann.
Yes.
Damn, that's a good draw, to be honest. Because Stamann ain't no joke, bro. Stamann is not a joke.
He beat Morales. He beat Perez, and he beat Vera. Song Yadong is no slouch in the bantamweight division, man. Kyler Phillips, I feel like they're trying to evaluate and trying to see if he can take the jump to that next level.
Yeah, I just saw his record. He's on a 3-fight win streak, so that's kind of exactly what it looks like,
Yeah, they're testing him right now. This is his step-up test.
He's got long hair. He's got a goofy-looking image, and he looks like a marketable guy. He's got a good record, 8-1.
MMA lab as well, good gym.
Yeah, good gym. He's got all the qualities, but Song Yadong or Yadong Song, as it says here in his typology.
Yadong Song is technically how they pronounce it in Asia.
Yeah, he's a beast, man. I've seen him, and obviously he trains at a great gym. I know he has great grappling and stuff. I think it's gonna be a good fight, man. It's gonna be a good fight. Who are you going with? I want to hear you first.
Song Yadong, man. I just had to go with him. I feel like he's almost like the Korean Zombie, and he just keeps going forward. You know what I mean? The dude gets rocked by some big punches, but I'm really interested if Kyler can actually get past this test, man. He's the real deal.
Okay, I got Song Yadong. He's 23, and his ring name is Kung Fu Monkey. I can't go against him.
You know what I'm saying?
I can't bet against that, bro. I can't bet against that. I can't cheer against that. He's the Kung Fu Monkey, and he has my pick.
He's getting it. The featured prelim of the night, Dominic Cruz in one of his first prelim fights in I think a very long time, taking on a good friend of the show, Casey Kenny. Super excited for this one. We're going to interview Casey actually later tonight, so I'm excited to talk to him about this fight. Funny note, my last interview with Casey was one day before they verbally agreed to the fight. Like, we got done with the interview and everything, and he's like, "Hey, you're done recording, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I got something to tell you," and he threw it on me. He was like, "Bam, I just signed to fight Dominic Cruz." I was like, "Holy shit!"
That's gangster, bro. That's gangster. What you know about Casey? I don't really know too much about Casey.
He is a wrestler from Indiana. I believe he wrestled at Indiana University. He trains over there at MMA Lab with those guys, and he's been killing it. I don't know if you've seen his fight against Alatong Ali. I don't think I've seen anybody take body shots like Alatong Ali took. There were some body kicks in there where I thought he probably for sure was pissing blood the next morning.
Against who?
Alatong Ali.
Alatang?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? I see he beat Nathaniel Wood. I actually used to train with Brad Pickett at American Top Team, and I know Nathaniel Wood is his guy.
Yes.
And Nathaniel Wood's a fucking beast. And he won a unanimous decision against him here. I want to see the stats in that fight.
He beat Manny Bermudez. That was Manny Bermudez's last fight in the UFC. He smoked Luis Smolka. His only loss is to Marab, which that dude's just a fucking animal, all right?
That was a beast. Yeah, looking for a fight, alumni. He fought Manny Bermudez, good win. He beat Vince Ford, Brandon Royval. He's beat some killers, man.
Yeah.
He's beat some killers.
I
He's
believe
lost.
that Brandon Royval fight was for the LFA title as well.
Yeah, man. Honestly though, I think this is a big step up in competition. I think he's gonna have a good
Huge.
performance and do well and show the world who he is. I don't think he's gonna get the nod though. I think this is. I mean, I think this is a fight to determine whether Dominic Cruz still has it to the people. I guess. I mean,
Yes.
I guess that's how the media will look at it. You know, I know he's probably not looking at it like that. He's just saying, "Fuck it, I want to fight." You know, he's got a great desk job. He kind of lost to Cejudo. He could still easily be in the mix for the title. But obviously, he doesn't seem to give a fuck about that because look at this. He's not. He's taking it the old school way. He's not over here saying no to fights. He's taking an unranked opponent and saying, "Come on, let's get it, young buck." You know, I have a lot of respect for that. I think his mind is tough. I think he's going to show up and put on an amazing performance like he always has. I got Dominic Cruz, man. I got Dominic Cruz. I don't know how he'll do it. He might come out and shock us and get a finish. He doesn't have a tendency to finish, so I don't want to say he will. But I got Dominic Cruz winning that, man.
I feel like the footwork is going to be a lot for Kenny. If Kenny can get this fight to the ground, which it's a big if, I feel like he's going to have an advantage. But yeah, it's a big if and a big tell.
Cruz is a high-level wrestler.
Yes.
I do not think that the wrestling is anywhere near an advantage to Kenny. I don't think it might. I think it's just going to cancel out. And if it's a stand-up affair, I got Dom all day.
I have to go with Dom. But, I mean, you never know, man. Casey might pull it out of his ass. I like Casey. He's my boy.
Yeah, he's your boy.
I feel like I'm gonna go with Casey. Fuck
it. Let's cheer for Casey. From our educated MMA perspective, we kind of have our little.
Kind of got to go for Dom.
We're cheering for Kenny, right? He's your boy. You know, we believe in him. You know, he's hitting that next level. So let's not fucking be those guys to be like we're doubting this guy. You know what I mean? Let's not be. Because I know how it feels to be a guy that's doubted, and I'm say fuck that, man. Let's say Kenny, man. Let's say Kenny.
I like his approach to this. He's like, fuck it, man. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to shock the world. And I think that's kind of the approach you have to have.
And that's one of your idols, bro. I believe, like, as any bantamweight who ever came up, like, this is a dude that's been fighting forever. This is a dude that when you started MMA, he was your favorite bantamweight. You know what I mean? Like,
he was the only one you could really cheer for.
he was the man, and he was always the man. He's a fucking success story. The man is one of the strongest fighters up here that I've ever seen. You know, he comes back from fucking 2-3 ACL tears, torn groins and shit, and comes back and wins a world title against a guy who was on fucking EPO.
Acts like he doesn't even fucking skip a beat, bro.
Yeah, he's like, oh, fuck ring rust. Like, that shit doesn't exist to me. If you pussy. Like, he's a fucking animal, bro. Like, you know?
To kick off the UFC 259 pay-per-view, we have an intriguing lightweight bout that really knocks one of the people out of title contention. It really evolves that next one to right below a step between that winner of Jan and Izzy. Thiago Santos, 21-8, is taking on Alexander Rakic, 13-2. I'm a big fan of Rakic. He only lost to Volkan Oezdemir. He's looked very good since then. But obviously, you know, you can't count out the fucking, you know, Mojeta, man. That dude will take you the fuck out.
I got Rakic, bro. I think all Thiago has is a puncher's chance.
Yes.
His puncher's chance because he has so much power. It's his only shot. I got Rakic. I think he's a better grappler.
And Rakic has shown that he can grapple. We didn't really know about his grappling until he fought Alex Smith. And then he just took him down the whole time and it was fucking over.
Yeah, man, I think he's a better grappler. I think he's a better striker. I think he has great knockout power. I think he moves his feet very well. I think he's very agile for a 205er. I got him getting the nod, man. I got him getting the nod over Thiago all day for sure. Like,
if somehow Jan is able to get past Izzy and Thiago is able to get past Rakic, I think that could be a possible next matchup just because of Jan's loss to Thiago.
But Thiago just came off a loss before this fight. I don't know how
losses. It's Thiago, the UFC, bro. Nothing makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think it would make sense if he came out 2 losses. And not only did he lose, I think he got TKO'd or submitted, right?
Jones, he went 5 rounds with, and then who was his last loss? Oh, Glover Teixeira. Yeah, Glover Teixeira submitted him.
Yeah, Teixeira submitted him. He beat the fuck out. Took him down, ragged him, beat him up. You know what I mean?
That's what you got to do to somebody like Santos, man. You don't want to keep him striking with you. Like you said, a puncher's chance. It's a dangerous chance.
Oh, for sure. And I'm not going to count him out because I've been saying since I started talking to you today, and it's a fight, and anything can happen. You got to respect the game, man. You know.
100%.
Yeah.
Another huge, intriguing matchup. They're talking about this guy is obviously, one of the futures of this lightweight division. Khabib Nurmagomedov says he's the one guy who could probably beat everybody right now. Islam Makhachev sits 18-1, taking on Drew Dauber, 23-9 and 1 no contest. Drew Dauber has looked very good in his last couple of fights, taking out Alexander Hernandez, Nazarat Hasparsat. I always hate his name.
Yeah,
only lost to Beneil Dariush. So very, very good matchups for Drew Dauber. Islam Makhachev, though, he truly seems like he's the real deal, man.
Oh, for sure. I met Drew Dober actually, and he came here to corner Muhammad Naimov for Titan FC. This is obviously not when I fought him, but a couple of fights ago. And he's not a big lightweight, he's athletic, he's strong. Can you go away? Sorry, she's like on her Instagram taking stories of me.
No, it's all good.
Yeah.
The lone wolf ain't lone no more.
Yeah, but he's not that big. I mean, he's short. He's a shorter, kind of stocky guy. Not very long arms. He's a very striking base that people don't really peep that. I think he has a good chance against Makhachev, but if Makhachev can get a hold of him, man, it's over. I think that level of grappling that those guys from that Khabib squad, that Eagles MMA squad, is too much. They got the wall work, they got the wrestling, they got the judo. The
way they tie people's legs up, man, it's ridiculous. Yeah. It's hard to get out.
It's another level of control, man. If they get you down and they can get you down for at least 3 seconds, they're gonna advance. They're gonna beat you up. They're gonna submit you, or they're gonna TKO you. So
Islam has 68% takedown accuracy. That's fucking great.
That's what I'm saying.
Half of his shots.
Yeah, for real. And to be honest,
he's throwing 2, he's hitting 1.
Yeah, he's the guy that I've studied a lot just from my own improvement. Like when you watch film study to learn techniques and stuff, and if you watch him, go watch some of his fights. He's really good in the fence, man. And that's something that all the Dagestanis have in common. From that sambo, they're very good at foot sweeps, very good at trips, very good at chaining the foot sweeps, harassing the feet back to their wrestling. And they kind of just do it at will, man, because it's a skill that a lot of these fighters don't have, is harassing feet, using the legs to set up upper body, lower body takedowns and stuff. So I think that's going to play a factor. I got Makhachev either submitting him or grinding him out.
Yeah, that's definitely a pivotal matchup for that division as well, too, because both those guys are really right on the brink of breaking out. Let's see, I'll pull him up real quick. We have Drew Dauber is not ranked. I know he was floating around there at 15. Makhachev is 14. I feel like if Makhachev wins this fight, they're going to bump him right below 10. He'll be right below Felder.
You stop. Say it again. I'm sorry, man.
No, you're good. I said if Islam wins this fight, I think they're gonna bump him up to about 10, and he'll be right below Dauber or right below Felder.
What do you think about
Felder's in the booth mostly? Him fighting RDA, I think.
Above Felder now, he should be top.
RDA's 7 right now. I feel like if Islam can get past this fight, I feel like they're gonna give him somebody like an RDA or a Dan Hooker or a Beneil Dariush.
Dariush the beast. Is he even top 10 yet?
Dariush is 9.
He's number 9. Dariush is 9 right now.
Yeah.
That's a guy that's a sleeper too, man. That guy has a lot of potential to be in the top 5. He's really good.
This division's so stacked at 155, man.
I can't wait.
You might want to stay at 45.
I can't wait to come back.
Bro, just tons of great matchups for you everywhere.
Yeah, and just great talent, man. Great competition. One thing I've learned, man, is I don't give a fuck about the UFC. I don't give a fuck about money right now. I just want to fucking fight. And I watch these fights and I get fucking pumped.
Hey, it's all about whooping ass and cashing checks.
That's it, bro. I just want to fuck people up.
Hell yeah. We got our first title fight of the night with 3 title fights. UFC Bantamweight title is on the line. Petr Yan, the Bantamweight champion, is taking on the number 1 contender and the most deserving contender, Aljamain Sterling, the Funk Master, man. Aljamain 19-3, Petr Yan 15-1. Petr has been undefeated in the UFC. A lot of people, including Corey Sandhagen, have said that he was kind of gifted this title shot. To be the number 1 contender, he beat Uriah Faber. To win the title, he beat Jose Aldo, who's been aging. Do you feel like this is his first true matchup holding the title?
I wouldn't say that, man. Aldo is never a slouch. The reason that they're hating on him for the Aldo fight is because Aldo was coming off, I think, 2 or 3 straight losses before he fought for the title. You know what I mean? Like, even though he fought Marias, and I think he won the fight, obviously, and it was a really bad judge's decision.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of stupid to give anybody a title fight off of a fucking loss. Whether it's a split that was a robbery or whatever. I think it was just something that they were so keen on doing as a business plan that they said, we don't give a fuck if he loses. We're putting him in anyway. You know, that was definitely a tough fight. Who else did he fight? He fought Faber. Faber has got a lot of hype behind him and a lot of fame and a big name, so I guess it mattered.
He
but
just knocked out Ricky Simone as well.
Yeah, exactly. But Jan was on a tear, man. He was on a super tear before he even got a title fight, and the title was vacated. And he was the guy.
He beat Jimmy Rivera. He beat John Dodson, Claudio Silva de Andrade.
Petrian?
Yes.
Bro, what are you talking about? That's a murderer's row. Like, you just beat a bunch of savages. Like, I think since the title was vacated, he had the hottest streak out of anybody aside from, I think it probably should have been Aldo. It should have been Aljo in the beginning, probably.
Yeah.
But the only problem with Aljo is that Aljo was like won a few, then lost, and then like he didn't really put together a long enough.
He got knocked out really bad by Morales.
Yeah, he didn't really put a
5-fight win streak since then. Knocked out Johns. He beat Cody Stamen. Beat Jimmy Rivera as well. Pedro Munoz, and then a beautiful submission against Corey Sandhagen.
Then there you go. You can't really deny him. My only thing was gonna say he didn't put a streak long enough to get a title fight. But you just named all five, and all five good names that he beat. You know, I would like to see like maybe a Frankie Edgar on that list of wins, or like or so who else is in that division that's a killer, man? Maybe Dominic Cruz.
You got like Rob Font, Cody Garbrandt, Marlon Moraes.
Guys, like he's missing a few guys, but like either way, it's still a murderer's row and a 5-fight win streak. You can't hate on that.
You look at especially what Sandhagen was able to do against Frankie Edgar a couple weeks ago. It really even boosts Aljo that much more.
Kind of like, I don't want to say it was bad and it wasn't skillful, but it was kind of a lucky shot, bro. Like he didn't really get even a chance to fight Frankie. He just caught him and just knocked him the fuck out. Like it was clean, it was beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to hate, but like it just like not enough for me to be like, damn, he beat him because he was the better man. He beat him because he caught him. You know, I don't want to even call that. It's weird. But it's a good fight, though. I don't want to hate on his win. It's a good win. And it's a highlight, bro.
No, for sure it's a highlight.
That was like the cleanest flying knee I've ever seen. Not the most violent, but by far like the cleanest. Like right on his chin and just out. Like what?
Yeah, honestly, at first it was almost kind of weird to see like, did he catch him or not? And then he just fell. And like, oh yeah, he got him.
Yeah, of course. That was pretty sick, bro. That was pretty sick.
Who walks out of Saturday night with the bantamweight title wrapped around their waist?
I'm going to call this a 50-50. I think if it stays in the feet, I got Jan winning it. I think if Aljo can mix up his goofy strikes and get a takedown, I think he can submit him. So, I mean, 50-50, I really can't make a prediction. I just say, but if I guess if I had to lean it, I'm going to go with who I would like to win because I'm the striker. I'm going to go with Petrian. I've been following him even since before he was the champ and before he even fought Faber. I kind of knew who he was because he was training with Naimov when I was training for him. And I watched his fights and I saw him and I knew he was a killer. But, yeah, man, I'm going to lean toward him. But it's 50-50. I wouldn't be surprised if Aljo submits him.
I have to agree with you with the Petrian prediction. The most interesting and I think biggest and most important stat to me is the takedown defense for Petrian is 88%. And if you look at the guys who he's fought, and, you know, you're right, Faber, Rivera, Dotson, all those guys are very strong wrestlers.
Mm-hmm. I agree. So, and honestly, like, I'm sure he knows he's fighting a guy that's grappling dominant. I'm pretty sure he's trained very hard for this. I'm pretty sure he's trained very situational for this. So, I mean, don't be surprised if you see Petrian getting up with ease or getting up quick or, like, you know, being able to stop what he brings, like, you know.
It is an interesting matchup. Another interesting and intriguing matchup is for the women's featherweight title. We have the GOAT, the Lioness, Amanda Nunes, 20-4, taking on Megan Anderson, 11-4. Megan has had obviously 16 fights, but when you look at her strength of opponents leading up to it, I just don't feel like she was ready for that title fight. But like you said, you know, it's kind of hard to get ready when you're a featherweight in the UFC because there aren't a whole lot of options.
Of course. Luckily, yeah, at least for fights, right? I mean, luckily, like, with her size, she can train with the dudes. She's got good size and whatnot. I don't know, man. I think the experience is gonna play a factor. I think Amanda's leaps and bounds above this girl. I think there's no one left to fight her. I got Amanda winning by a landslide. I think she can even finish Megan. But obviously, this MMA. It's not sleeping. I'm not sleeping. I'm betting $10 on Megan Anderson.
Oh, listen. Everyone should go bet $10 on Megan Anderson because the payout is ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm betting $10 on Megan.
I put $10 on Yana Kunitskaya to beat Chris Cyborg. It didn't work out, but I would have won like fucking $3,000.
You bet Cyborg to win?
No, I bet Cyborg to lose against Yana Kunitskaya. Yana Kunitskaya was like a plus 1,000
How much do
underdog,
you
like $3,000.
if you with $10 bet?
Yes.
That's redonkulous.
Yeah, it was bad. I've never seen anything like that in a title fight.
Yeah, that's like a super underdog. It's like doesn't even make sense.
Hell yeah. I have to agree with you. I think Amanda Nunes this is just going to be like a 5 round light spar for her. And
Yeah.
she's just going to go in there, make some money, go home, feed her family. I think Mom Amanda might be the most dangerous Amanda that we see. I don't think she's going to go in there and play with her, let's put it in a lioness term. I don't think she's going to go in there and play with her food anymore. I think she's just going to go in there and devour people.
Yeah, and one thing I've noticed from training around Amanda and seeing like her at the gym and knowing that she comes from my coach, that I've seen her work ethic change over the years.
Yes.
With cleaning out the division and stuff. Yeah, she still trains hard and whatnot, but she doesn't train the same way. Like I watched her train for the after Ronda, she was only training like 6 weeks at a time for these title fights. These are 5 round title fights. I mean, You don't train 6 weeks just like once a day for a fucking 5 round title fight. And that's kind of what she was doing. But from the look of the way her body is and the way she's looking right now, she looks like she's in pretty good shape. So maybe that's changed. Maybe she sees a different challenge. We'll see what happens, man. But I think Amanda takes this easily. But I'm still betting my 10 on Megan.
No, for sure. Now we get to the main event. Israel Adesanya, probably the most creative and best striker, I would say, that we've ever seen in the UFC. He is going from the middleweight division to the light heavyweight division to take on Jan Blachowicz for that UFC light heavyweight title. Do you think on Saturday, Israel Adesanya has enough creativity to get himself another highlight finish and walk out of there as a double champion?
I think he does, man. The only thing that worries me, man, is when you got guys that are both world class and on that level, size does matter. Mm-hmm. So I think Blachowicz is a very high level fighter, has ridiculous power, very strong. But I think what's going to play the factor is when Izzy hits him, is he going to be able to back him up?
Yes.
Is he going to be able to move him? Because, Izzy's a great striker. I think he's leaps and bounds better than him in that aspect. But one, Blachowicz has the power that if he touches Izzy, think about what happened with Dustin and Holloway. Max might have outpunched Dustin as far as volume is concerned. When you look at if Dustin hits you with 1 and Max hits you with 3, Dustin's 1 is going to hurt you way more than his 3. You know what I mean? So I think at this weight, it's not like that where you can take a shot and just get wobbled. This is a shot, if he gets hit like that, he goes to sleep. So that's a big factor. I do believe Blachowicz has pretty good ground game. We haven't really seen Izzy tested on the ground yet. So I think if he can put Izzy on the fence and cut him off and wrestle, it can play a huge factor. I'm going to go with Izzy. I think Izzy controls the distance and gets it done. He's a lot of people that aren't strikers or just casual fans don't really understand the level of striking he is, and the fact that he's adapted that high level stand up to MMA is pretty incredible, switching stances, advancing correctly, outdistancing people when they rush him, circling off, not getting cut off, controlling the cage, using feints, using footwork. It's just the perfect MMA strike. Getting creative to avoid takedowns. He's very good at it. But if he can get pushed on the fence, he could be in trouble. But it's just going to be a matter of when he hits Blachowicz, can he back him up? Can he move him?
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think that he has the power in his hands to personally knock him out. Obviously, we could see a completely different story come Saturday night. I think if he gets a finish, it's going to come with his knees, or it's going to come like a question mark kick or something in that kind of nature.
But, my thing is he's very accurate. So,
Yes.
Even though he might not have the craziest power, look at how many guys he's finished and how many guys he's dropped. I think he can still even finish him with a punch. Or I think he can overwhelm him with volume. I think he can hit him, and the accumulation of touching him can play a factor. I think he can win a dominant 5-round decision, or he can, he can finish him maybe in the 3rd round once he breaks him down a little bit. Hit him with some body shots, start touching him. I think I would see if I was Izzy with a long style fighting a guy that's kind of flat like Blachowicz with high arm stance, he would throw a lot of stab kicks, So I don't know. We'll see. Try to watch out for those. He's very good at those as well. I got Izzy. I don't know if he can finish him. I don't know if it'll go to a decision. It's a tough fight to play out. Blachowicz might have the advantage in the grappling and on the ground, and he's got the power advantage for sure. So it's going to be interesting.
When I say that Israel Adesanya has the best striking in the UFC, I don't say that jokingly. I truly believe once you break it all down and you take the layers upon layers that he's able to show you, and it's amazing what he's able to come up with inside the octagon. I really feel like Every time we go out there and we see him, we just see him get better and better and better, and every time. And every time guys aren't able to take him down, he's just boosting his confidence more and more. And I think a confident guy like that with the striking he has is got to be really scary. He beats guys like Muhammad Ali beat them before he would even step in the cage with him, just mentally. You know what I mean? Just breaks them down.
Yeah, he's very intelligent, man. Like if you hear him talk about fighting, like when he talks about, oh, like I faded this way, like you hear him, he's very calculated. He's very calculated. He's very smart. He has a great fight IQ. He reads distance like no other.
He sees shit very well.
Yeah, he has great mechanics in his technique. Like he's a very high level, bro, and I think he's a guy that's gonna be hard to beat. You know, at 205, I don't see him staying at 205. I think he's just taking the challenge to try and make history. I think Blachowics is a good matchup to do that. I think if he fought a guy like Rakic, that might be a tough-ass fight. You know, that's a big dude, bro. That dude is not only is he big, he's tall just like him. So that plays a huge factor as well. But as of now, I think I got Izzy, but not by a landslide though. I got him winning though.
I think Izzy can definitely get the knockout in this fight. It's going to be interesting how it comes. I truly believe it's going to be some kind of knee question mark kick, high kick, something in those, nature. I feel like he's just so elusive, and the way he's able to hit angles. And I feel like he steps outside of the danger, hits an angle so well, throws up kicks. It catches guys so off guard, and those are usually the shots that end people.
Yeah, man, he's the shots that you don't see are the ones that stop you, and he tends to get a lot of those.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that pretty much wraps it up for us. Let me get 3 key matchups for you to watch.
Let me look at the card real quick just to make sure. My 3 matchups are the main event, Jan Blachowicz, our first title fight of the night, Petr Yan and Aljamain Sterling, and I'm gonna go with I know it's pretty generic, obviously, because I'm going for the fights that are pretty picked here the most. I like to see Dominic Cruz and Casey Kenny. I think that's a sleeper fight. You know him. He's your boy. You know, he's coming up saying, fuck it, fighting the bantamweight GOAT. I think Cruz gets it done, but I think it's one you want to watch, man. The young buck versus the new school versus the old school. So I think it's a great fight to watch, and it's a sleeper.
Yeah, that's a great fight for sure. I'm going to have to go with Joseph Benavidez, Askar Askarov. It's a huge flyweight, title implications. You have Islam Makhachev versus Drew Dober. That answers a lot of questions for what we believe Islam's future could be. And then the light heavyweight matchup between Kennedy, I'm going to fuck his name up, so I'm not even going to say it, versus Carlos Uberg. I'm really excited about that one, man. Carlos Uberg can literally be the future of that light heavyweight division. It's all going to be unfolding in front of us here on Saturday. I'm excited for this card, man. Thank you for joining us. I know you're taking time out of your recovery. I appreciate it. Thank your girlfriend for taking time away from her. I appreciate you, man.
Hey, all the time, bro. Thank you. Appreciate you, man.
Of course. Let's do this again for sure. I want to have you on, and then obviously, once you get that knee back up, we will do all the fight interviews in the world, man.
Yeah, man. If you need help with any of this, I got all the time in the world, bro. Just let me know.
I will hit you up, man. Honestly, we'll probably get you on. Me, you, and Waleed will probably do a show once I get him back. He's starting a summer program right now, so he's got to worry about his schedule and shit.
I'm down. I got you. Just let me know. And yeah, man. So just let me know when you post this, all right?
All right, we'll do. I'm gonna try to have it out tonight, so we'll get it all out and we'll get it all going, man. So thank you again to Lone Wolf for joining us. Thank you guys for staying this late. I know it's been like an hour show, but we appreciate you, and stay classy.
All right, my G. I'll talk to you later.
All right, man. Out.